Hello and welcome to Cluesy. Thank you for tuning into my frequency today. So today I want to talk about diabetes because it's diabetes week. So I'll give a special shout out to all the diabetics out there. Hope you're having a good week, a week dedicated to you. But what I wanted to talk about today was just to think more about what you can't find on Google. So, most people will be able to look up how to reduce my risk of diabetes, or I've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, how do I manage that? Or I have type 1 diabetes, how do I reduce my need for insulin requirements and things like that. So you can look it up, exercise more, drink more water, cut down carbs, yada, yada, yada. You can look all of that up. You'll get all that information from your diabetic educators. But what most people won't know, that there, besides the pancreas, so the pancreas, one of its jobs is to produce insulin. So if you've got type 1 diabetes, you have lost the ability to produce insulin. Now that's a whole new story about autoimmune, and you know how I feel about autoimmune, so we're just going to park that, but that's basically what happens in type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a lot different. It's about insulin resistance. So you produce the insulin, but it's not being uptaken by the body. So there are two other organs that I'm going to sit here and see if you can think of. I'll give you a hint. One of them is my absolute favorite, and the other ones are two little tiny things that in our current lifestyle and world take the brunt of most of us. Liver is number one. Always number one for me is the liver. The second little organs or glands that are affected in diabetes and can cause diabetes are your adrenal glands. Now, you probably never knew that. So how does the liver affect diabetes? Well, one of the liver's 455 billion jobs, maybe not that many, but it's got a lot, is to store glycogen, so glucose. So our body runs on sugar. Our brain uses a lot of sugar. Our heart uses a lot of sugar. Our muscles use a lot of sugar. Our whole body is driven by sugar. So one of the liver's jobs is to store that. So when we eat, it breaks down, our body breaks down the food and the liver goes, okay, I'm going to use some of that sugar now, but I'm going to put some aside. So when I have moments of can't eat because I'm too busy or food is unavailable or whatever, the body still can function because the liver can release the glucose. So that's one of its jobs. So if you don't have that, if you've starved yourself or if you've restricted all the sugar intake in your diet because you're diabetic and that's what you were told to do, then your liver will run out of sugar. So then that impacts your body. And what happens when the body runs out of sugar? Your adrenal glands overproduce adrenaline because that's another energy source for you. So if you run out of true energy, of glucose, then the adrenal glands have to work overtime to produce adrenaline to keep you going. So if that's all happening, your body is not running the way it should, then the pancreas gets involved or doesn't get involved because there's no sugar in the body. Therefore, do I have to make insulin? Not really. And then nothing in the body works properly. So I'm not telling you to go out and drink Coca-Cola and eat Mars bars and all of that. We know those foods are no good for us. Like, they are poison. But fruit, getting up in the morning and having an apple, an apple a day really will keep the doctor away. Our body needs sugars. Fruits should be eaten. They should be eaten on an empty stomach. Now, I go on and on and on about being blessed to live in Queensland because we have fruits all year round, all different kinds. We live in a beautiful climate, so we have access to all of this. But if you live in colder climates, apples are in season. In the end of summer, they will last for a while. So you can eat apples, you can eat winter squashes, in other words, pumpkin. So there's all these foods and fruits and vegetables that are quite high in sugar, natural sugars, that our body actually needs to function. So you've got to get it into you. And with your adrenal glands, look after them. Reduce your stress, reduce your coffee, reduce your stimulants, and that in turn will help your diabetes. Now, you probably didn't know that. So I hope you learned something, that it's not just about the pancreas. It's about looking after your liver and looking after your adrenal glands, and that in turn will look after your pancreas. See you next week. Thanks for watching.